Hey, then we quick walkthrough of the enterprise knowledge retrieval system I built on Microsoft's technical documentation corpus. So the problem it solved is simple. At the UF Applied AI Labs, non-technical researchers kept asking engineers questions that were already answered somewhere in the Microsoft documentation. So Azure configurations, SDK references, the authentication guides, they just couldn't find it themselves. The goal was to make the entire documentation queryable by anyone on the team in plain English with cited answers they could verify and no engineer in the loop. So, so over here you can see the system has um, ingested the Microsoft documentation across the Azure Copilot, also Graph API, Teams, Power Platform. And chunked and indexed into Pinecone Cloud Server, Cloud Vector Database, and 127 document chunks ready to query, as you can see over here. So let's go with the chat. So this answer comes from Claude, but it can only use what have was retrieved from the documentation, nothing fabricated. On the right panel, you can see exactly which source chunks were pulled and their relevance scores. The auditability was a hard requirement. If stakeholders couldn't verify where an answer came from, they wouldn't trust it, right? Let's take the next question, like follow-up question. Let's type something like how does authentication work with it? Let's see what it tells us. So, as you can see over here, uh, no need to repeat the context, right? The system maintains the conversation history per session, so it responds naturally like a real assistant would do. Let's take another query, like how do I create a Copilot in Copilot Studio? So as you can see here, um, now a completely different part of corpus, that is Copilot Studio documentation, same pipeline, different domain. That's the value of unified knowledge base over siloed search tools. So you can see over here the embed query, the Pinecone retrieval, the Claude generation. So three steps every time. Embed the query into a vector, retrieve the most semantically similar chunks from the pinecone, and then generate a grounded answer using only that context. The pipeline is visible in the UI intentionally, and the transparency about how an answer was produced matters as much as the answer itself in an enterprise setting. So the engineering decision that had the biggest impact wasn't the model actually. It was the chunking, and Microsoft's technical documentation has code blocks, API signatures, and also step-by-step commands. So if the indexer splits those made function, the retrieved context is broken and the answer is wrong. and switching to the syntax aware chunking, never splitting inside a code block is what took answer accuracy from like 67 to 84% on our technical query set. And backend is Fast API, and vector store is Pinecone, and answer is from Claude. So happy to go deeper on any part of it. Thank you. I hope you liked my presentation.